the Department of Health is pushing forward with their Vooma Vaccination Week campaign. This, of course, comes as COVID-19 cases are surging, with more than 16,000 new cases registered countrywide. Gauteng has recorded more than 11,000 cases, with only 3.78 million people in that province fully vaccinated. In Johannesburg, a vaccination site has been set up for migrant laborers at the Hillbrow Clinic. Newzroom Afrika's Karinda Jagmohan is there to see how that's progressing. What's happening on the ground, Karinda? Are people arriving to be vaccinated this morning?
Yes, indeed. In fact, people started arriving at about 8 o'clock here at the Hillbrow Clinic in Johannesburg. My colleague Morena will actually just show you some of the people that have been standing on the line waiting to get their vaccines. They've come with their children, they've come with their partners. Essentially, as Gauteng enters the fourth wave, we're seeing more and more people coming to these now over 250 vaccination sites set up across the province for people to get their inoculations. We do know that the new variant is spreading rapidly across the country and is being reported as the reason why we are seeing more transmissions of this virus. Now, as we see a massive 16,000 plus infections countrywide, like you mentioned, Gauteng accounting for just over 11,000 of those infections. And it's interesting to see this because this was the number of new cases we saw on the 2nd of December countrywide. So indeed, we're seeing a rapid transmission of COVID-19 here in Gauteng. Now, some of the people in the line are not necessarily all migrant laborers. There are various people from all walks of life who have come here. But what is interesting is that they're all really maintaining the social distancing protocols, COVID-19 precautionary protocols. There's also some construction happening nearby here as well at this clinic. But you know, we went along, I spoke to a father who brought his son here because he's concerned, and he actually mentioned the fourth wave to us. He was speaking about his concerns about the new Omicron variant, and it's something he's very worried about as a father in case his son may get infected and how this would ultimately spread throughout his whole family. One of the bigger issues here is that is the cause for concerns regarding Omicron and vaccine immunity. We have heard from the Department of Health that still getting one's vaccine will offer some immunity to this virus and still save from being hospitalized. Remember last year in December when the country was in a second wave, there was an issue regarding hospital admissions, a number of hospital admissions, and even then we had to see tighter restrictions around alcohol sales to prevent the trauma units at hospitals being blocked up and to provide some bed space for those who had COVID-19 and were hospitalized because of the symptoms they were experiencing. So at this point for the health department, it is important that people get their jabs so that if one is infected with COVID-19, the symptoms are not as severe as what we have seen prior. South Africans can protect themselves, and also we can start protecting ourselves from being houses where the virus can mutate. Omicron is one of the COVID-19 viruses that has the most mutations we have seen thus far, over 30 mutations, a heavily mutated virus that is believed to be the reason why it is so transmissible. It has been detected in more than 30 countries, and of course here now in Gauteng, in South Africa as well, we're starting to see it spread further. So over the next hours, we're going to speak to some of the people in the line about their concerns, about why they've come here, and about what their next moves will be, especially during December, a time for festivity, whether or not some of these Gauteng residents will try and assure their own safety by staying indoors and adhering to safety precautions. We'll also go inside the Hillbrow Clinic to see what some of the nurses are doing and how they feel about the current state of the spread of COVID-19 in Gauteng.